Randy Hauser.
Randy, I was talking to somebody about you, and they were like, Randy's coming in. I said, yeah. I said, maybe the first time you came in, you brought a goat and it peed everywhere.
Yeah.
And until we changed our studio, that pee just remained in the studio for like 7 years.
Yeah, that whole thing was a surprise to me as well.
Oh, what? Oh, we didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't know you at the time. We were new to town.
I didn't know y'all either.
And you were the guy that showed up with the goat, and so first impression.
That was not me.
Oh.
It was interesting. It was like, I got here and they're like, hey, we brought you a goat to take you. And I was like, oh, cool.
We were like that too.
So this is how I'm going to meet all these people? Like, no, that's, it was so funny. I think I don't know what they were trying to do. And I normally don't just take goats to people.
We didn't know that. We thought you were the goat guy for a long time. Yeah, how you been?
I've been great, man.
I would say that I haven't seen you in a while, but we briefly, and I'll keep your business private, we saw each other for like 7 seconds. I was getting in my car driving out, and you were like, hey! And I was like, oh, somebody's going to beat me up. That's what I thought. It was like an aggressive, not like I couldn't figure out if somebody's going to beat me up or somebody was like trying to catch me before I drove off.
No.
And you were like, hey!
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, and you had, big...
I think I probably say it like that to everybody anyway. I don't know.
Well, let me say it to you. It's scary. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah. And so it was good to see you. I know we only had a few seconds to say hello, but we haven't had you in here in a while. I do see you tagged a lot of my Instagram stories from people that are like at your shows. Yeah. Because they're like, it's a religious experience at a Randy Hauser show.
We have a good time. I mean, I'm very passionate about, what I do and making music. And, I don't know I know how it makes me feel. I love what I do.
For a few years now, anytime I've seen you, even a picture online. So, and you're I would say my buddy John Party is too, but you guys are real life cowboys. So you
grew up that way.
Yeah. But
it's kind of hard to be a cowboy in West Meade anymore.
True, but I would say it's like riding a bike. I haven't rode a bicycle in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm still a bicycle rider.
Yeah.
Fine. But the hat is kind of cowboy.
Yeah.
But also like kind of cool.
Yeah. I have Stetson makes me these hats, but they're kind of made like my granddaddy would take like fedora style hats like that, and then he was a cattleman. He was a cattle buyer, so he would still shape his fedoras like a cowboy hat. So I just kind of got that from him.
That's cool. It's because
something different.
Grandpa, I like the look.
Something you get from tradition of your family.
Do you switch it up? Because I was going to dinner with Party, who's like my only close friend that wears a cowboy hat all the time.
Yeah.
We were going to dinner, and I was like, I'm going to be funny and wear a cowboy hat too. Because he wears it everywhere. It doesn't matter he's a big guy in a cowboy hat who talks loud. And I was like, screw it, I'm wearing a cowboy hat too. So I put one on. It was winter. I put one on, and it's a just, straw cowboy hat, whatever.
Yeah.
And we show up, and he's like, you can't wear that.
Can't wear that in the winter.
I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you got to wear felt in the winter.
That's true.
I'm like, bro, I was just doing this to be funny.
Yeah.
And so then he got me a felt one, which I've never wore. But
really?
Do you switch it up at all? Are you wearing the?
It just depends. Well, if I'm like outside, like just at the house or whatever, most of the time I'll wear a straw hat. But like if it comes to doing a show, I'm always in a felt hat.
I like it. It. Randy Hauser is here. So we got some new music here. I mean, yes. The album doesn't come out till November. Is that right? When the full record
November
comes out?
11th, yeah.
So, but you're putting out music, got a few songs out. Let me play some of Still That Cowboy.
I pray that I'll always be still that cowboy that stole your heart.
So, cool. Was that written, and I know you co-wrote every song that's coming out on this record.
Yeah.
Was this song at all toward your wife?
Absolutely. Yeah, the idea sort of came from, it was like, I think I'd just gotten home and we were in bed and I looked over and I was watching her sleep. And, just the interesting thought of, I wonder what she's thinking about or what she's dreaming about right now. And I hope it's me, that kind of thought hit me, and I was just like, that's kind of where that idea for the song came from. And I, like 2 days later, my buddy Josh Hogue and Matt Rogers came over and we wrote it.
So you held on to that. Do you write it on your phone? Do you just?
Yeah, I keep like notes of ideas in my phone. I'll either hum stuff in there and like in voice recorder, or I'll get in Notepad and just write out like, type out some like ideas or something like that. And then mostly, and I write like, I don't write all the time. I'm like one of those guys that writes like I go and write in like seasons. I'll write like, when it's time to start making a record, I'll just store up all my thoughts and then just sort of go for it, because I can't I don't know. I'm not one of those people that do well writing on the road. I just don't. That's just like a separate thing for me somehow.
Those are your nuts. Squirrel nuts. Get it? Squirrel sets up his nuts. And he goes, and
That's right.
There's a song that's out now. It's a current single. And I know we could play a clip of it, but instead of that, I know you have your guitar here. Would you mind performing a little bit of Note to Self for us?
I'd love to.
Now, before you play it here, so walk me through what this song means to you and why you wrote it.
Yeah. So, with like a lot of people that do what I do, the pandemic gave me not only an excuse, but forced me to be at home a lot more than I can remember being home. I mean, it's, before the pandemic, I can't remember being at home more than like 2 weeks at a time. And so it did a lot of things. It gave me a chance to experience a lot of things that like I wouldn't have experienced, like my little boy Huckleberry starting to walk, things like that, and seeing that. And most likely I would have been on the road had that not happened. And so it just gave me a chance to be home and sort of evaluate and reevaluate decisions that I've made years ago. And it also taught me what it means to be like a home dad and a home husband and all those things, which to me was like very foreign. It was like, most people won't admit that do what we do, but we're gone all the time, So it was a really cool experience in a lot of ways. It was also very unwelcome in a lot of ways. But, so I got together with Bobby Pinson and Casey Beathard, Ross Copperman, and we just freaking wrote the song. The song idea was an idea actually that Bobby and Casey Beathard had started, and I just loved it. It was like just one of those things, like totally fitting for the time, and we just finished writing it that day, and I recorded it at my house, and we just went for it.
Randy, can you list, and we'll talk about jobs from when they started to take taxes out, because I mowed a lot of yards, a lot of stuff young, but when they started taking taxes out, the government did. Can you list your normal jobs before you became Randy Houser, the famous musician?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, my first job was obviously, grew up in Mississippi. We grew up raising chickens. We grew up in chicken houses. So working in the poultry industry, to put it.
Did you always stink? Because we grew up around chicken houses. I mean,
you're in Arkansas. You definitely had chicken houses.
It smelled.
Smell like money. That's what we always
smell.
say.
Okay. All right, chicken houses. What else?
After that, I was a bus boy at a place called the Back 40. After that, I went to work at Lazy Boy.
Doing what?
Driving a forklift. And then, let's see, I went to...
Were you good at that?
Yeah.
And I asked because I drove forklift a little bit at Hobby Lobby, and I just was bad at backing up because you got to do the opposite. It's that whole...
The back wheels turning.
Yeah, it's that whole thing. But you were good. Okay, I wasn't good, and I didn't get to do much.
I was. I mean, But here's the thing. I hated every job I ever had until I was able to play music for a living. Because it's all I ever wanted to do.
What job did you get to quit to go, I finally get to go do music now full time?
I quit all of them.
No.
But no, and then I worked at a steel mill. I worked at Magnolia Steel. And then I worked at a music store. That's the one I quit when I moved to Nashville. I was 26 before I moved to Nashville.
Which is pretty
late.
Yeah, pretty late. So what were you doing at the music store?
Just whatever, hanging out, tuning guitars or whatever.
Where'd you live?
I did that for in Meridian, Mississippi.
In Meridian, were you the guy that was really good at music, the local guy that was really good at music?
I was one of them. When I was there was a lot of still. I always grew up playing with guys that were like 20 years older than me because, it's kind of like the band scene kind of disappeared in a lot of ways. But, I was one of those guys. But, I'll quit that one to move here.
It's a risk, right? I mean, especially if you've been having to pay the bills and now you're going to go and do something creative where there is no stability whatsoever.
None, yeah.
Like what kind of kicked you in the butt to make that move?
I don't know. I think it was just like I literally was okay, I'll tell you what it was. There was a what was that song, Tammy Cochran song that was about
Did it go, whoa, no, not like this? Did it go that?
No, it was a song that Carrie Kirk Phillips wrote. We'll have to look it up, but I'm just drawing a blank on it. But I heard this song, and it was all about Life Happened. That was the name of the song. If you go back and listen to it, the song's all about these three characters in the song that their dreams were passing them by just getting the bills paid and doing it. And I heard that song, and it literally, that I could say that the song literally changed my life. I went, well, not happening to me. And so I just packed up, and I had like this little, like a 92 Mercury Cougar, and I just I rolled out, and it broke down on me the first week I was in Nashville.
How long did it take? Was it a year, multiple years before you could actually make enough money to pay all your bills making music?
I'd say I got lucky, but luck is built on hard work, I think. But when I got here, I brought like a pocket full of songs, and I knew a couple of people because Derek George, who produced like How Country Feels and Moonlight and all that stuff, was from Philadelphia, Mississippi, and I knew him. And he took me to this publisher, Steve Markland, he was running this place called Windswept. And they ended up signing me like a month after I'd been in town as a writer.
Rare.
Yeah, it was very rare.
Couldn't hold back the talent. They smelled the chicken house coming to town. They were like, this guy's got something.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that was just one of those. And also that was a different time. People, as a songwriter, you could get signed a lot quicker in those days, I feel like, than now. You didn't have to be a TikTok star then.
You say that, and I feel a little, I don't feel like you like TikTok that much when you say you'd have to be a TikTok star.
I love TikTok. I love watching people's TikTok.
You don't want to make them.
I don't want to make them.
Well, let's do a dance right now. So, all right, listen. Randy Houser's got an album coming out November 11th, and that is a while away. And I'm sure when the album comes out, I'll talk to you again. I'd love to have you back when the album comes out. So there are a lot of songs that are coming out on the record, but what I want to talk about now are the three that people can get right now, because that's why they're listening, right? So you got Still That Cowboy, you got Working Man, and you got Note to Self. All they're out right now. You are going on the road with Cody Johnson.
I am.
That is quite the vocal show.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot
of fun. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
I'm a big fan of you.
Yeah. So is Scuba Steve. He like cries every time a song plays.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Scuba Steve's like, here's any.
That's going to be fun.
At Randy Houser on Instagram and Twitter. Do you have a TikTok?
I do. Yeah.
Is your label? They're not making you do TikToks yet.
I can't be made to do much. But I think the most fun I have with TikTok is them trying to get me to do stuff and just going, nope.
Yeah, what you do is you get in your car and you turn a song on.
Lip sync.
And you start a song and then, they point at the words, but instead of doing that, when the first word pops up, be like, ain't doing this crap, and then turn the TikTok off.
That's a great one.
You can have that free of charge.
Oh, done. We'll do that.
All right. Randy Houser, you guys check out the new music. The record comes out in November, and when it comes out, we'd love to see you again.
I'd love to be back.
Thank you. Great to talk to you. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
You sound great. I mean, anything you guys want to say to Randy while he's here? I mean, I wish I could wear a handkerchief like he does. I can't even pull.
He sports it all really
I don't
well.
even understand how he looks so cool in one and like normal. He looks normal in one. And if I put one on, I think people think I have a cold or something. I don't know what the situation is. Do you ever wear a red one?
No, I stick with these old blue ones.
I'll probably do red.
I did quit wearing them for a while after whenever the pandemic kicked in, and then Coachella happened and everybody in the world started wearing them. I was like, I'm out.
When it got cool, like hip.
Yeah, I had to get rid of it.
Same thing with TikTok. He was on TikTok though before anybody knew it. That's the thing. So, all right, Randy Houser at Randy Houser on Instagram and Twitter, and the record's out in November. Randy, good to talk to you, buddy.
You too. Thank you for having me.
It's about